We'll be in one moment. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Live Fridays with Toss and Spin Tennis. Listen, I couldn't be more excited to welcome in Alex Chan, super tennis enthusiast. Join us today as we talk about the U.S. Open, our picks, who do we think is going to win, and it's going to be really exciting. I'm going to welcome him in here shortly. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section or anything you'd like us to discuss. There he
Hello.
is. How are you?
Hey, Chris. I'm good. Good. How you doing today?
Good. Welcome to Live Fridays.
Yes. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to have you on and talk a little tennis.
Hey, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So even before we get started into the U.S. Open, I don't know you that well.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Let's see. Where should I begin? Well, I'm 34 years old. I live in Maryland, and I'm currently the director of recreation programs for USTA Mid-Atlantic section. So I've been working with them for the past 10 years, like a little more than 10 years.
Okay.
I started tennis relatively late. I started in high school, and then in college, I started the club, like tennis on campus program. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I started that at my college, UMBC, and that's why I got to know USTA. And from like a year after college, I decided, hey, I like tennis. What if I just get a job in tennis? And
Yeah.
it seems to have worked out well since then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know you said you're from Maryland. My wife's from Maryland as well,
Oh, yeah.
the Baltimore area. So
Okay.
definitely, and my sister lived in College Park, and her
Okay.
husband, we spend a lot of time, or I spend a lot of time out there. So that's good
Nice.
to know because I can
Nice.
come. I'll have to stop by and we'll have to hit some balls sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. I tell your wife. Yeah, I think your wife will know about UMBC.
Yeah.
That's near Baltimore area.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She knows a lot about that area.
Yeah. Excellent. And then I said nowadays, obviously, I'm just a little more. I am USPTA certified as a coach, but I don't do too much coaching nowadays. And then I'm a stringer on the side, and I'm like a social. Actually, I'm a social tennis player. Like I don't play too many tournaments or leagues, but I'm a decent 4-0, so I can compete. But I just like to play for fun usually.
Hey, listen, that's all that matters. I mean, I played in college, but now I play for fun and just found an amazing joy for playing and really just putting a smile on people's faces as they get better at the game that I love. So I'm totally with you on that forefront.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a good summary of myself.
Yeah, no, that was great. And we'll transition into the U.S. Open. So I know you've been watching, much like myself, because there's not a lot of other things we can do right now. From your perspective, what's the biggest surprise you've seen thus far in the tournament?
So here's the thing: going in, I was expecting I don't expect anything to happen. I just think all the players they haven't been playing too much tennis this year, so I feel like there's going to be a lot of upsets and just like everything that we think we know, it's just out the window. I feel like anything can happen. But I would say I was thinking about that. I would say actually I was very surprised by what's his name, Kiki Mladenovic, her match recently where she was up 6-1, 5-1, and then she completely blew it and lost it. And I haven't seen such a huge meltdown in a while. So that was ridiculous. I was following that, and I was like, oh, why is it still going on? And then I was just surprised by that. That was probably the biggest surprise.
I would say for sure, and I think from my perspective, it's never over until it's over.
Right.
And just
That's
from my
kind
coaching days, you'll
yeah.
see players, and I know my mom will laugh at this, and my dad. I remember when I was a kid, I was up, 6-0, 3-0, and then ended up losing, that set 6-4 and then 6-1, right? It's
Yeah.
just something mentally, you're like thinking about other things, and all of a sudden you miss a couple balls, things get tight, and then you look at the score like I should be winning, and then before you know it, it's over, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the worst feel. I think that's the worst feeling when you lose from that.
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's terrible. But
absolutely.
yeah.
And I would say too, a couple things I'm thinking of, like going into the tournament and how Milos has been playing. I was really surprised to see him lose second round to his fellow countryman Pospisil. That one really surprised me because I know Pospisil is good, but I didn't know he was playing that well. And I think that's what makes this U.S. Open special is, so many players are, they have a shot. And I just think of young American players, Francis Tiafoe,
Yes.
who had an amazing win yesterday, Taylor Fritz, who's playing now. Just those guys are showing some real maturity and really taking advantage of the opportunity. The only other thing I can think of is one thing that really irritates me is the expectations put around Coco.
Right.
I feel like, we forget sometimes that she's a 16-year-old girl and the commentators act as though she's a, 45-year-old woman. And I think we have to remember that, I was surprised to see her lose first round, but then again, she's 16 years old. So I'm like, knock on wood, she has many more times to get this right. And to me, she's going to own Grand Slams in the future. So
for sure.
Those are, from my perspective, the things that really stood out to me in the first couple of days.
I should have mentioned that too. I think for remind me, I forgot about Coco losing the first round. That did surprise me too. I thought she would go a little bit further, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it surprised me too. And then, she didn't play well at Cincinnati. Oh, I shouldn't say she didn't play well. I think she got outplayed. And then she was there at the Open. I mean, she was in the match, but she just couldn't pull it out. So I'll be curious to know, what the rest of her year looks like, as I'm sure she's wondering what the rest of her year looks like, just given, you know what I mean, the times that we're in.
Sure.
The couple things I'm thinking about. One, who are your picks to win the men and women?
Well, all right. So I'm gonna be very basic right now. I'm picking Djokovic because I feel like he's been doing very well, but like to be honest, I don't like Djokovic that much.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just been too good recently. I have to give him that credit. But I'm hoping for him to be. I'm hoping someone else will win. I'm hoping some of the this is the perfect tournament for one of the new generation players to actually take it. Like Thiem, Tsitsipas, Medvedev, who else? I mean, personally, I would like Francis to win it because he's from my state. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I do that just based off his past records. I know he hadn't done super well at the U.S. Open, but I'm glad that he finally made a third round at the U.S. Open. So hopefully, from there.
And I'm hoping this will be a breakthrough for Francis. And I agree with you. I look at Novak Djokovic like Tesla. Like, are you Tesla stock? Are you really going to bet against Tesla stock or Elon Musk? Are you really going to bet against Novak Djokovic? I mean, without the big guys. I mean, I think he's a sure-in unless he gets hurt to get to the finals. I do think they were spot on with saying Medvedev's playing some good ball right now. Tsitsipas is playing good. Team, like all those guys can do it. I mean, and then you could have a ringer. You never know. I mean, without the fans, it's all up to the players. It's almost like they're playing practice matches on the big stages from a men's perspective. So I would, if I was betting on it, I would put my, cash behind Novak because I think it's an investment. However, it would be nice to see another young guy, anybody really from any country, just step up and kind of take it. It would make it worth watching for sure.
Absolutely. I forgot to mention Dennis too. Dennis Shapovalov. Yeah, I think he's playing pretty well too. And he's one of my favorite players because he's lefty like me, and he has that one hand backhand that's so smooth. So I always kind of root for him. I'm not sure about his music career recently. I'm not sure. Have you heard his?
I haven't. I have to look at that.
it's called a night train, I think. I'm not sure if anyone in the who's watching watching it. Like, but yeah, it's very interesting. He's like rapping in that, and it's a very interesting song.
I will make sure I check that out. And I'm a lefty too, so we breathe the same air, that lefty air.
Yes, yeah, lefty fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then on the women's side, so I mean, I do like Osaka, generally speaking. Like she was doing pretty well in Cincinnati until she got that injury. Although I think she probably was okay-ish, but she wanted to be ready for the U.S. Open. So I'm still rooting for her. Serena Williams, like I always, I mean, I hope she gets that record title eventually. Yeah. I'm just not sure about her because she's been, I would say, not choking per se, but she definitely, like, there's like a mental block that's been preventing her from winning the past few majors. And like she's playing okay. She's a little shaky here and there, but she's okay. But if she wins, that'd be nice just to get that 24th title, I think.
Ty Margaret Court 24th Grand Slam. I mean, I'm rooting for her because we've kind of been, it's something that everybody's been talking about the last 2-3 years. Can she tie Margaret Court? Can she beat Margaret Court? So I'm like, please, let's get there.
I know.
I will say, to your point, I do think there's probably 10 to 12 women who could win the title. I mean, you have Azarenka playing well.
Yep.
I mean, you have Jennifer Brady. She's playing well. Then Madison Keys. Like everybody's like starting to look good and feel comfortable in this bubble. And I mean, Serena plays Sloane next, and I think that's going to be a tough
I'm looking forward to that match. That's gonna. I want to see the results of that match. That will sway my opinion of who might win later on. Because I know it's like Sloane Stevens. She's been playing pretty good tennis recently, so I'm curious to see how she does against Serena. And then there's a lot of players like Azarenka. Azarenka's been on a hot streak for sure. It's good to see her back that way. That's like I'm glad to see her like playing well again after being out for a while.
I couldn't agree. And it's funny because as long as I can remember, these players have been around. Like I was telling someone on the court today, I was like, for since I started playing tennis, Serena and Venus have kind of been in the spotlight. And it's truly amazing to see them still playing. And sometimes I wonder, is Venus playing for another major? Does she just really enjoy it that much? Does it provide that much joy for her that she trains and continues to play in these tournaments?
Right.
But I can't lie and say that, I'm not happy to see her there because I love watching her. I love, seeing her play. And, deep down, I really want her to get one more, either that or the Olympics or something like that. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think I named all the women that I think I'm rooting for. But like I said at the beginning, it really can be anyone's tournament. Really, it just kind of depends on. I mean, I think I already saw some upsets like just recently, so I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As I get ready to close this off, and this has been great, one of the things I wanted to get your opinion on is what are your thoughts on just the bubble as well as not having a tournament of this magnitude without any fans?
All right, so I know that there was a lot of criticisms of like I think way back in the beginning when U.S. Open said we're gonna have this tournament we're gonna do it. I think people were kind of criticizing the organizers like they're doing it for money and they're not watching out for players' health, whatever like that. I'm pretty sure money is definitely a big part of it. I said I work for the U.S. Tennis Association. We do I work in the section level, so we're different from the national level. It's completely different. But we do get funding from the U.S. Open funds a lot of our section budget, right? So on a personal level, I'm a little biased. I was hoping for it to run, but at the same time, I also knew that the people that were in charge, they were taking it seriously. Like they knew that all eyes were on them, that they were going to take it seriously, and I was cautiously optimistic of it running. So it seemed like it's been doing well. I know that I think there was that what's his name? Pierre. Who got that thing. Although I did read recently that he actually got a negative result recently, so that might have been a false positive. I'm not sure, but it seems like overall they're being very cautious. They're doing their best. And it seems like it's working all right. I know that it's been tough for the players themselves. Having to take all those tests. I'm not sure how many tests they take a day, but I'm sure they take a lot. And having to stay in one spot, I'm sure that's tough on them. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I think they're glad that they're actually able to play a tournament of this magnitude right now in our current environment.
Yeah.
So like I think so overall it's a good thing. It was a good thing that we were having this tournament
For sure.
and yeah, so I'm just hoping for the best for it.
Yeah, and I agree with all that you said. I mean, I think, when I first heard that they were going to play the U.S. Open without fans, I was like, oh, that stinks. But now, I'm kind of like, I'm just glad there's some tennis that we can watch and enjoy, and that they're keeping the players safe. And I think they took some learnings from the NBA and what they were able to do and create that fan experience and create a U.S. Open bubble. I also think every day, I don't know if it gets easier or harder, but more players go home. So, or more players go somewhere. I don't know if that's home because it's hard to travel right now, but I think there becomes less and less people there each and every day. And by week 2, there's not going to be many people left around. So it could get kind of lonely for some, but if you think of a Serena, maybe that's a good thing. And I also think of just like, players like Serena, like Naomi, who always have to do a lot of press and meetings and outside of events. Now they truly can just focus on, like, they literally have one thing to do, and that's play. And I'm sure for some of them that's probably amazing. Just being able to walk the grounds and not have to worry about being mobbed by fans is something that you've never had the experience of. And I also think when fans do come back, it's going to take some adjustment. Because it's gonna be a totally different ball game again with the crowd. So I think it'll be interesting to see.
Right. I was gonna mention that I was reading somewhere where like a lot of players were going around the U.S. Open. They were saying like they have never been to this part of the U.S. like this part of the ground because usually there's always fans that's in the way. So now they have to explore, they can enjoy it. So it seemed like I like that dynamic. I like the like we're watching some of the matches. I like seeing how like there's actually other players that are watching from the stands or whatever they're like the places that like it's you don't normally see that, so it's kind of cool seeing that. So it's different, but it's also neat, pretty neat.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be this in the French Open. You never know what's going to happen in the future, right? But I mean, the immediate future, I think U.S. Open and French Open will be like this, and I think players will also enjoy the French Open. Who can go? I mean, I think there'll be some players who will just opt not to go, and maybe they shut down their year after this. I mean,
I'm very curious about the French Open because I think they are having fans for that one. Fans for that one, so it's not going to be as bubbly like as U.S. Open. So I'm very curious. I know they were the one that started this. Like we're going to run this tournament like way back when. So I'm very curious how that goes. I'm hoping for the best, but like it's interesting.
It's gonna be.
I have my popcorn ready to watch.
That's all it is. I go on court for a little bit, and then I get to watch some tennis. So I mean, it's gonna be fun to watch, and I hope everything works out, and the players and officials and people who are running the tournament are safe. But kudos to the USTA. I mean, they did a tremendous job pulling it together. I know on the back end, just from working in tennis, how much work it really, and you probably do too, just how much work it took to pull that off with limited resources in a short period of time. So I'm sure just to see it come together is very special for them, as well as all of us being fans.
Yeah, so. for sure.
Yeah. Well, of course, thank you for jumping on. For those watching, where can they look up more? Where can they check your profile out at?
Well, I'm on Instagram.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Mostly Instagram. Like nowadays, that's my public facing profile. So Alex Chan Tennis. I post like different things related to tennis, clearly in my name. So feel free to check me out. I have some, I make some creative videos. I have some, I try to mix up when I can. So just come by. And I'm a nice guy. Come chat with me sometimes.
No, I appreciate it. Definitely, everyone check out Alex. He does cool. Not only does he do cool videos, but he does videos I need to figure out myself how to do, because those are, especially what you're doing with the reels. Those are really
reels.
Cool,
yes. The reels.
It's a fun little thing to jump in on. And you guys gave me some great advice on that as well. So again, thank you for jumping on Live Friday, just to chat a little bit about tennis, and I'm happy to learn about you. Definitely when I'm in the area, I'll have to look you
Yeah,
up.
let me know.
But for everyone else, feel free to look at Toss and Spin on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the great channels, and we'll sign off.
All right, cool. All right,
Thanks.
thanks again.
Have a
Bye.
good one. Talk to you soon.
All right, yeah.